Hey guys, my name is Lace and this is my channel, Feral Beauty. So listen, this might be a really long video because I'm gonna do like a get to know me and get ready with me. So there's gonna be a lot of yapping involved. So I figured as you are getting ready with me, I'll just tell you about myself. And I'm gonna use like some of my favorite products. So I already used my L'Oreal Faux Brow Marker for my brows with my Benefit 24-hour brow setter right on top. I use this like pretty much every single day. I'm gonna put a little bit of my Vive Skin Nova on. I'm just feeling a little dry, so this will help. Stuff smells so good. I'm telling you, like everything from Vive smells so good. All right, so I am pretty new to YouTube, like as a whole, you know, like not just as a content creator, but like even as a viewer. I've kind of only been watching, I don't know, for like a year and a half, I wanna say. And I know, where have I been like the last 20 years, right? Especially being in the beauty industry, everyone has always been like, oh, I bet you love watching YouTube videos, right? Like all the beauty tutorials, things like that. And I've always been like, no, not really. I was just like never really into it. And I was thinking about why, and I've narrowed it down. It's gonna sound so stupid. Oh, that's my dog, one of my dogs in the back. It's gonna sound so dumb, but I feel like the reason why I was so disinterested, even as a makeup artist, in like all the beauty content and tutorials and all of that for all this time is because of the brows. Like, I know that sounds so ridiculous, and I mean, it is. But I don't know if you guys remember this, but like from, I don't know, 2013 to like 2017, I wanna say, there was this like time of really bad brows. But like, because it took so much effort to do these types of brows, there was so much pride in the work, and so everybody was like showing it off. But like, it didn't look good, you know, and obviously that's just my opinion. But anyways, that's why I was not like into YouTube until recently, is because of the brow. They scared me, they freaked me out. I was just like, those tutorials, they've got nothing for me. I don't want to learn from them. It was like a store that I didn't want to buy from, you know? I was like, yeah, they got nothing for me there. There's no products there that I want. And unfortunately, I just kind of assumed that like all of the content would be like that. You know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I need a new one of these soon. So I am from this area in Brooklyn called Bensonhurst. It's like kind of close to Coney Island, I would say. And I lived there until I was like 19. Well, okay, a little bit of backstory. I feel like this is kind of important. I come from what I refer to as like a Jerry Springer family. Like a really crazy, traumatizing kind of family, you know? So if you know Jerry Springer, like if you know, right? And so anyway, I feel like that is important backstory because so I live in Brooklyn, like I was living with my boyfriend during high school, and my parents, my family moved from Brooklyn to Staten Island. So when I moved out from my boyfriend's, I moved into my parents in Staten Island. I feel I did time in Staten Island, okay? Like New Yorkers that have done time, they would probably be like, yeah, I did time at Rikers or Sing Sing or whatever. Not me, I did time in Staten Island. But I did meet my husband there. So that was really good. That was like the one really good thing that came out of Staten Island. So I'm gonna start off with the Natasha Denona Mini My Dream Palette. I think that's called? Yeah, my Mini Dream Palette. It's one of my favorite palettes. Like, it's nothing crazy. I know it's probably a little boring looking, but I love it. I love it, I do. So I worked at MAC Cosmetics, not like Apple. I worked at MAC Cosmetics for altogether probably like 7 years. So while I was working, I mean, it's kind of what you would expect, at least for that time, you know, a lot of the people that I worked with were challenging to work with, but I got a lot of like great industry experience, a lot of knowledge and everything about beauty. Like it was really helpful. So as much as I didn't really like jive with the people, there were some really good experiences. So it was kind of like working for MAC was a mixed bag. I'll say that. And then my husband wanted to move to the Pacific Northwest. And I mean, I didn't really know how to feel about it, but I was also kind of like, get me out of Staten Island. So I was like, all right, let's do it. And I love it here. I do. Like, I miss New York. I love New York. I love them for different reasons, you know. I really miss the fast pace of everything in New York. I miss how fast everybody walked, drove, how fast everybody talked, you know what I mean? Everything was just like so much quicker. Everybody was like on it. And here in the Pacific Northwest, this is like not a knock on people here, but it's just a different like pace of living, you know? People, I feel like they talk slower, they walk slower, a lot slower. They drive a lot slower. It gives me a little bit of road rage, if I'm being perfectly honest. Yeah, like people here will drive below the speed limit in the left lane on the highway, and it's like, guys, don't you know the left lane on the highway is for illegal speed limits? Don't know who taught you how to drive, but get it together. And I remember like even as a kid, I loved makeup so much, always, like from the start, from the beginning, I've always loved makeup. I've always been drawn to it. In my mind, it was always kind of like painting, you know what I mean? Like painting, drawing, I'm painting on my face. It's this like awesome creative outlet that you didn't really have anywhere else, like outside of like, you know, coloring with crayons and you know what I mean? Like things like that. So I was so drawn to it. But we were like really financially strained. We, you know, like we were on welfare, WIC, food stamps, Section 8, you know, all the things. If you know, you know. And, but I was like so determined to be able to get my hands on some makeup, this like embarrassing, that like when I was younger, I would have like my neighbors out and my family like save up all of their cans and bottles of like soda, water, whatever, anything I could recycle. And I would walk over, like, you remember the one of those like old lady like shopping carts, you know? I would have one of those and it would be filled up with all of these things to recycle. And I would walk through the neighborhood and go to this like Italian grocery store called Scaturo's. And I mean, I'm sure it's not there anymore. So I would go there and I would recycle all the things, make a few bucks off of it. And I mean, it took a lot because each thing was like a couple of cents, you know, but it adds up. It does, it adds up. And so I took my earnings, my hard-earned recycling money, and I would then walk over to this like Italian pharmacy called Genovese, and that's probably not there anymore either. And anyway, so I bought like my first, like I earned this money type of a product where like I bought it myself. And it was this brand from, oh my God, I'm aging myself. It was this brand from back in the day called Jane, or like Jane Cosmetics, where everything I think was like $3. Like that was the thing, right? And I walked into Genevieve. I must have been 10, yeah, like 10 or 11. And I walked into Genevieve's and I bought my first lipstick. And I was like so proud of it. It was very thrilling, very exciting stuff. And I was always drawn to like luxury products, even as a kid. And because we were like so poor, my mom would always say like, Lace, you've got champagne taste with beer pockets. And I mean, I guess I did. I guess I did. So I've always been this way. And as we're speaking of luxury products, I'm gonna go in with the Victoria Beckham lid luster in mink. And I'm gonna apply that all over the lid, like from here to here, because I'm gonna leave a little bit of this kind of free for something else. And even though it's like in my bio and everything, you might not know this about me, but I am on the spectrum. I was diagnosed late in life with ASD level 1. And like, obviously we didn't know at the time, but like looking back, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense of things. And so I can be incredibly, like to a fault, very like science-based, very fact-based. Everything has to be like backed by facts, by science, you know what I mean? I really don't like these mystical woo-woo things, you know? I don't like really believe in horoscopes and things like that, but it's still like, I think it's fun, you know what I mean? And please don't be offended by this if you love horoscopes, because honestly, almost all my girlfriends are so into it, you know? And they are still friends with me, even though they know I'm not. So if they can still be friends with me, you can too. And in case you are into it and you're wondering, now you're curious, what sign is she? I'm a Sagittarius. And does that make you think, I knew it? I knew it, that makes sense. Sagittarius are so skeptical, you know, I have no idea. But that would be really funny if you were thinking that. And I am gonna be turning 4 in December. I'm not ready. Not for any bad reason. I guess I'm saying I'm not ready because I don't feel up here. I don't feel 40, you know? Like I don't know how old I feel really, but it's not 40. It's definitely not 40. So there's this huge like disconnect between how old I am, how old I'm turning, how old I feel, how old I think I look. Like there's a whole lot of disconnect going on there. So it's just like this really bizarre feeling. And I know everybody goes through this at some point, maybe even multiple points of their life, right? So like if you have turned 30, maybe that was like a turning point for you and you're like, oh my God, freaking out, like you're not ready to be 30. Or maybe you're 50 and that was like a little over 50 and that was like your turning point, you know? 30 I was kind of fine with. I was like, whatever, 30. And not that I'm not okay with 40, it's just, again, like, I don't know, this huge like mental disconnect. I just don't feel it, you know? And other than all this like beauty stuff that I do love and enjoy, this is like as girly as I get. Like other than this, I am kind of like personality wise like such a dude. Like I love action movies. Some of my favorite movies are the John Wick movies. I love them unapologetically. I love them, and it has nothing to do at all with like, oh, I have a crush on Keanu Reeves or something. I mean, he's okay, you know. No, I just like love the constant action of it, you know. I feel like maybe it's my attention span. I don't know. I am literally like a computer with 50 tabs open at any given time. And so this like constant action, you know, is kind of what my brain needs sometimes, for me to just be able to focus and pay attention to the plot. But other than that, I really like a lot of sci-fi stuff. I love comedies. Who doesn't like a comedy? Who doesn't like to laugh? Come on. Did I say I like fantasy? I love fantasy in every aspect. Like I love reading fantasy, that has been my favorite genre since I read Harry Potter when I was a kid. But pre-Harry Potter, I was like the weirdo 4th grader that like would read John Grisham. Like, what was even wrong with me? I have no idea. But I loved it, I enjoyed it. And so, you know, it would be a little John Grisham one day and a little bit of R.L. Stein the next day, you know, normal stuff. But I feel like now I'm kind of going back to really enjoying like suspense genre for books, for reading. And so one of my clients just recommended, because she loves suspense, that's like her genre, you know? And so I was just like, listen, I love my fantasy, and there's a time for fairy smut, but now is just not the time for me for fairy smut. Like I'm just over it right now, okay? Sometimes it's enjoyable, but like right now I'm over it mentally. I just like need something else. So she recommended this book called Kill for Me, Kill for You. And I know that sounds a little scary or whatever, but you guys, it was so friggin' good. It was so good. Oh my God. Like you would think that the author has paid me to talk about this book. I mean, that would be great, but here I am doing it for free. And so I've been telling everyone and their mother about this book because it's so good. Because, okay, really quick, I feel like I'm going on a tangent. Because, okay, wait. Now I'm gonna go in with another lid luster from Victoria Beckham. This one's called Tea Rose. And so I was saving this for that inner corner area. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so with the books, right? Normally, like, not to toot my own horn or whatever, but I think it's just because of the amount of books I've consumed throughout my life that, like, because of that, I've become really good at like noticing these like patterns throughout plots with characters and just all of it. And so that has also kind of like trickled down into like movies, TV shows, all the things like that. So normally I know how things are gonna end like a little bit after they've started. And it drives my husband crazy. But anyway, so this book had so many twists and turns. Like I can't even like convey to you, right? Like how many. This book had me constantly guessing and gasping. I would be like, oh my God, what? I was not expecting that. That's crazy. Like this book had me on the edge of my seat, okay? It was so good. So I'll try to remember to put up like a picture of the cover or whatever. And if you are looking for a good suspense that is gonna keep you guessing until literally the very end, like the last 5 minutes of the book, I highly recommend this one. And so I just like enjoyed that so thoroughly that I had to look and see what else the author has. And so now I'm like reading one of his series, because that was a standalone, like a one and done book. And so now I'm reading one of his series. I think it's called like the Eddie Flynn series. And so far so good. I feel like I'm halfway done with the first book. Like it's suspenseful, but it's not as edge of the seat as the Kill for Me, Kill for You book. But who knows? That could change at any moment, right? So it might end up being absolutely fantastic, but whatever. I'm supposed to be talking about me. I'm supposed to be telling you guys about me, and instead I'm like going on and on about this book. I'm not done with the shadow just yet, but I do want to throw on some liner. So I'm gonna go in with my Victoria Beckham Kajal in, I can't remember what color, the name of it. It's her darkest brown. And because, do you see this nub? Like, do you see this nub of a pencil? Calm down, don't worry. I ordered a new one. I just ordered a new one. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. We're gonna survive this. I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna put this on the upper and the bottom waterline. My favorite music is 90s alternative music. That was just like the best. Maybe I'm probably biased. That was the best time for music. I love it. I also really enjoy like early 2000s, like punk, emo, stuff like that. But then I also actually really do enjoy like some really old, like way back when, like big band music, some doo-wop music, you know, like I gotta be in the mood for it, but I do really enjoy it, which I know is a little like unexpected, but that shit's good, guys. And so I'm just like that out with the smudger underneath, and then I brought it up a little bit and then just use my nail to like wing it out. That's like my lazy girl wing, you know? So I'll do this side. Yes, yes. Yeah, I figured since I was like telling you guys all about myself, it would probably be the best for me to do like a classic lace look, you know? This like one of my types of looks. Big smoky eye and really like light nude toned lips. I'm gonna dip back into this and use that darker shade right there. Smoke that out over here. Yeah, I love that. That's so me. If you know me, you're like, yeah, that's a lace look. Had to use my favorite mascara from Sweet. So actually I love this one. This is the Cloud Mascara, but they also make the Pro Lift Mascara and I love that too. So I couldn't decide, I just grabbed whatever was closest, to be honest. Oh my God, I just dropped something on the floor and I went to go get it. I mean, after the initial panic of, oh my God, I hope that doesn't break, because it was my Prada highlighter. And I found my Surratt liquid eyeliner. I have been looking everywhere for this, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I thought this was gone forever and that I would have to order a whole new one, which is annoying because this is refillable. So it's expensive when you buy it first and then the refill for it is like a lot more affordable. So I thought I was gonna have to go through that whole process again, but I found it. Yay! All right, I'm gonna go in with my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation, which they just reformulated and came out with like the architecture soft radiance or whatever. I have no idea. I'm just like, really? I just got this. I just got it and I love it. And now you're telling me you made a new one. Great, great, great. Also though, I do want to try, I think it's like the architecture matte one. So whatever, whatevs, I say. All right, I'm gonna pump some out on my palette. My favorite food is pizza, but like specific New York pizza, because have you tried pizza in other places? How is that pizza? That's not pizza. And like no matter where you go, right, like whatever state you're in, there's always so many places that's like New York style pizza. No, buddy, no, it's not. It's not, it's shit. Like, I'm sorry. It's not good though. I actually did just find one place that I'm liking in Portland called Baby Doll Pizza, and that one is pretty good. And yeah, it does claim to be New York style, but at least it's good, you know? Or as good as it can be for the Pacific Northwest. When I do my makeup like this, I don't typically use concealer because I love, like when I have a smoky eye, I like to just let it be smoky, like all over. I don't really want this like super bright under eye, you know? I feel like, I don't know, it kind of throws it off. Oh my God, I love dogs so much. Like, it's probably unhealthy how much I love dogs. I mean, honestly, like if I'm driving and I see a cute dog, I mean, there's so many times where I would get into an almost car accident because I'm looking at the cute dog. I mean, can you blame me? They're so freaking cute. I can't. And my favorite types are pit bulls, or really like Staffordshire Terrier is what they're really called. But I love them. They're kind of all I've known. Well, my whole life, those are the only types of dogs I've ever had. And so like I know how actually like soft and gentle they are. They're so sweet. And I feel like so many people think the worst of them, which is so unfortunate, but you know, people think they're like so aggressive and everything. And I'm sure there are aggressive ones out there, but like Have you met a Chihuahua? Like, they're hella aggressive, okay? They're just smaller. Thank goodness that they're smaller. Can you imagine if they were bigger? Shit, that would be scary. But no, I love them, and I hate how misunderstood they are, because ultimately they think that they're lap dogs. You know, they will sit in your lap, and you're like, oh my God, you're like 60 something pounds, please don't sit in my lap. And they're like, but I'm just a little baby. And you're like, oh, all right, you are, fine, get in my lap. But I do also love corgis. Oh my God, I love to watch them walk away. They're so cute. Their little butts. Oh my God, the way they like sashay as they walk away, little fluffy butt, I love it. So yeah, my husband and I, we have 2 rescue pit bulls, and they're so friggin' cute. I can't, I'm just like obsessed with them. Absolutely obsessed. One of them is my meatball, and the other one is my little goblin. And Meatball has filled out. She has gained some weight. And so lately I've been calling her my little meatloaf. I said, you'll get back to meatball status, but right now you're a little meatloaf. And I'm just gonna go over that a little bit with my sponge. Okay, I'm gonna go into my Givenchy Prism Libre. It's there. I know, discontinued, don't be mad at me. Their loose powder, I've got it in Satin Blanc. However, I also have the pressed one, and I like that too. But I have no idea how long it takes for these to go bad. So I'm just like, whatever, I'm just gonna use what I have, you know? Oh, I feel so colorful today. Normally I'm like all in black, not because I'm like particularly goth or anything like that, but I just love the simplicity of always matching, never having to like pick out my clothes in advance to make sure it's gonna match or anything like that. So this is colorful for me, like gray. Oh my God, if I'm wearing gray, I am feeling adventurous. I'm feeling colorful. Like that's kind of as colorful as I get. Oh, actually, wait, I do have like, I do have a cardigan that's like this kind of army green. So that is super, super colorful for me. That's like when I'm feeling real bold. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my Anna Sui puff. I love this, I love it so much. So happy I got this. I'm just gonna press that in all over. I'm gonna go in with some Hourglass bronzer. I've got Diffused Bronze Light. I like this because it's not too orange, which is pretty rare for Hourglass. I love perfume. Perfume is like a hobby of mine. I love perfume so much. I've just like, this is gonna sound so weird. I love smelling things. I love the variety of scents in everything around you, you know? Like I remember when I was little telling my parents when we walked by a gas station, like, what is that smell? I love that. And my parents were like, gasoline? You like the way that smells? And I was like, oh, it smells so good. Like, I'm telling you, yeah, I love the way gasoline smells. I love the way so many things smell. But yeah, as far as perfume goes, when I was younger, I really loved like sweeter, like gourmand things. But like, I would say once I started getting a little older, I really went in the complete opposite direction, and I just love like earthy scents. I'm trying to think. Like I still appreciate gourmands and things like that, but I don't really want to smell like that. My husband wants me to smell like a bakery, but sorry, just not my thing anymore. And if you guys ever want like a perfume video from me, just like my favorite stuff, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to do that. Honestly, if you guys have recommendations for any kind of like the content that you want me to make, that you want to see, if there's like specific brands you want to see, techniques, whatever, you know, just let me know. I'm open to it, within reason. That always messes my hair up so bad. Okay, I am taking it back to one of my absolute favorite blushes forever, like for so long, MAC Warm Soul. Love this. And I love this blush brush from Morphe with Ariel. Such a good one to get just like the lightest color payoff, you know? I'm just gonna put a little bit up here. Prada highlight in shade 1. Oh my God, I love Larry David. Love him. I love that man so much. Not in like a romantic way. I just really love him as a human being. So much so that I have a tattoo of him. It's not like a portrait or anything like that, I swear. But yeah, I have a Larry David on my body. Actually, I mean, hold on. It's on my arm, so there we go. Can you see? Larry David. So that is, if you know, it's like when he was the lawyer in one of the Seinfeld episodes, he was pretending to be, well, no, he wasn't pretending. He was like George's dad's lawyer, and he was like the man in the cape, which was like so ridiculous. Anyway, so he was in that scene, and he was like this, like pointing up, but he looked so crazy, like with his like Dracula Transylvanian cape, you know? And I just like loved it so much. I was like, I guess I need that on my body forever, as you do. A little nose contour. I've been so into this lately. I don't know why. I haven't contoured my nose in a really long time. And then I was like, oh yeah, I used to really like doing this. So I just do this little like button nose. It's almost like a straight line underneath here. And then another straight line right above, right here. It just literally gives the illusion of like a little button nose. I don't know. Why do I like it? Why am I like this? I don't know. I like it though. And then you just go in and in another line right there, put like your skin tone basically, or your highlight, whatever you want. I could not decide on lip products because like I said, I'm trying to use my favorites, like some of my favorites, and I could not decide. I have a lot of like favorite lip products. So I couldn't decide on the Mauve M159 and my Sephora Soft Suede. These are like, I love these two. I think I'm gonna use Soft Suede. And since this is darker, I could always add some of this if I want on top. So I'm just gonna line with that. And then for lipstick, I picked Prada lipstick in Beige. I hate that it's called Beige. That just sounds so boring and just like so basic, bitch. I hate it, but it's one of my favorites. One of my other favorites, it's very similar, but it's their ultra matte, is in shade Alabaster. And so I couldn't really decide between the two, but I just grabbed this. So this is Beige. And then I'm gonna layer on top of that one of my other favorites. It's from Swede. It's their Lay lipstick in Celine. These are so pretty. Ah, I love that. All right, guys, so short of knowing my mother's maiden name and my social security number, I feel like you know pretty much everything about me. You know a lot. You know a lot now. Hopefully it wasn't oversharing. Hopefully I kept it light enough. Oh, let's spritz with some of the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. So I don't know, I hope this was like slightly enjoyable at the very least. I'm just like airing that, letting that dry. But yeah, you know, like being new to YouTube as a viewer and a creator, I just felt like something else was necessary, you know, something was needed. Like there was just so much like perfection. Everything felt like so scripted and everything. And I just like, of course, representation matters, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, everyone seems so normal and so perfect. And I just wanted to see a little more quirkiness, a little more weirdness, a little more personality, you know? Which is, I gotta say, hard as you are like creating content. I have learned doing it. It is a little hard to have personality come out because I mean, I can only speak for myself, but when I am, you know, doing my makeup and showing you guys how to do stuff, I'm so focused, so laser focused on that I'll forget to have a little bit of personality, you know? I even noticed when I'm editing things that I was like talking slower. I'm like, I don't even talk like that. What am I doing, you know? So I get it could absolutely be a little bit of a challenge to like translate that into your content. And so I get that now. But I was just, yeah, I'm just hoping to see a little more like authenticity, a little more weird, you know, like just people being themselves unapologetically. Just be yourself, stop caring what other people think, you know? So that's it. That's everything for me. And I hope you liked it. I could show you guys some better lighting. Let me see. Only thing is, it's not going to be like long ways. Okay. It's going to be like if I had a short, you know? All right, here is some better lighting. And yeah, this is like such a classic lace makeup look. Smoky eye, light lip, pretty cool toned. I have been trying to dip into some warmer tone shades, so we'll go on that journey together. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for hanging out with me, getting to know me. Not that you asked to, but I threw that at you anyway. And hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Take it easy. Bye, guys.